Hello, hi my good people. I hope you are good. I'm also fine. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are going to have a conversation about the cost of attachment manenos. So recent times, or most of the time, we have experienced a lot of clients who have GBV, gender-based violence. It is something that is really alarming, more so among women and men. Kitambo people used to think that GBV is only for women, but nowadays tables have changed a bit, so it is for both. So you can't say that because I'm a woman I'm the one who is experiencing GBV, but also even some men are experiencing gender-based violence. It is something that is really alarming, and we need to dig deeper and know why is this thing happening. I know there are those people who are in very bad relationships, and for them they don't even see the need of getting out of it, or the need of maybe seeking assistance or attention. So today we are going to discuss about the cost of attachment, because most of us, we are attached to people and we feel like they are our gods, and it is them who determine the kind of life that we live, and they really control us and manipulate us, and we just feel helpless, but we don't see the potential in us. I read a book, one of the books here, about Tony Robbins, and he said that the book title is Awakening the Giant Within. And you can really learn a lot, because you feel like I'm worthless, but when someone comes and opens your eye, or when someone comes and gives you a book, or you buy a book and you're like, okay, I can do this. So attachment is the cause of control, because people fear to leave the familiar, and this is psychology about our minds. Our minds will always stay to where it is familiar to, regardless of whether the step you are making is something that will bring good news. People will always stay to the familiar state of mind. And this has really made a lot of people even to experience a lot of challenges in life, because they feel like, what will happen to me? What will people say if I leave this toxic mom, or toxic dad, or toxic girlfriend, or toxic boyfriend, or toxic marriage? What will people say about me? And there's something called the sunk cost fallacy. I know it is used in finance a lot, but you're going to use it here because this means like people will not want to let go of something they have invested in. And the cost that they have put in that, let's say, business, even if the business is not doing well, it is not generating any income, it is running in losses, but people will always want to put more and more because of the sunk cost fallacy. They feel like, I've already put enough and I'm going to continue to put, because one day it'll cheaper. That is why even people who bet and gamble a lot, they lose money, but because they have already lost the money, they'll always want to put more money, because they feel like, if I continue putting more money here, I'll recover what I've lost. But the end story is they'll continue to lose more and more. They'll not even recover anything. So the sunk cost fallacy is something that is making us even to stay in those toxic girlfriend relationships, because you're with you in high school, this has been my BFF for so long, but they're abusing you. They're making you to have a lot of mental torture, but because you have been childhood friends for long. I was watching a video, it was kind of a movie, and this guy who was interested in this lady, but the best friend to this lady was so jealous. But now, because they grew together, the mother of this friend, I don't know, died and left the friend in the hands of this lady. Now she will give up a lot because of this childhood friend who was against everything that will make this girl happy. But because for her, she was like, I'll be judged. She has been my friend all along. The mother died and all that. But this friend will even go back and talk bad behind her. But because they were childhood friends, this lady will always forgive her. So sometimes we stay in very toxic relationships, even with our girlfriends, that will make us not to move forward, because we feel like we are going to betray them. So there's this story of the children of Israel. I know we know this story. So the children of Israel, at some point they told Moses, let's go back to Egypt. And one thing we need to learn from this story is that Egypt was not a good place for them. They were slaves, they were being overworked, they were baking bricks. At some point, even Pharaoh said, you guys are so idle that you always come here and tell me you want to go and worship your God. So people who used to make straws for you will not do that. So you'll have to do everything by yourself, and you have to produce the same number of bricks that we produce every day. So the children of Israel, by the time they are telling Moses, you have taken us out of Egypt to come and kill us here, you mean there were no graves in Egypt? We were comfortable eating onions and cucumbers. It is our mind. Our mind want to go back to the familiar, even if the familiar is hurting. These guys were not even seeing the promised land, the land of peace and rest. They were just feeling, let's go back, because now we don't know where we are going. We're in this wilderness, at least for Egypt, even if tuko tunateswa, but we know the mateso. And that is why most people, they don't want to live abusive relationships. And at some point you see and you're like, this person is going to die. You're like, you're going to lose your life. But they're like, it is okay, things will change. It is okay. I don't have anything, this kind of life that my kids are living. I cannot afford it. So I just stay there for the kids. That is why we have a lot of kids out here who are talking badly about relationships, because you are there protecting the kids, but you're not doing anything to them. Actually, I'm sorry to say, but most cases about these teenagers who are rebelling and doing a lot of things, sometimes when you dig deeper, the problem starts back in the family. The underlying issue here is not even the things they are doing. The underlying issue here sometimes is what they have gone through in their families. So if you're a parent, just spend time with your child. Just know that whatever you are doing, you're just raising these kids, and you might think you are doing the best for them, but you are doing the worst for them. So people will always take advantage of us. People will always take advantage of us because they know huwezi enda mahali. They know huyu hakuna mahali ataenda, and that is why they can even beat you, and they will tell you there's nothing you can do. They'll beat you and you will cook for them. They'll beat you and you will provide for them, because for them they know hakuna mahali unaweza enda, and that is a very bad state, because someone will even kill you. So make sure that if you are going through gender-based violence, number one I will say is seek help. Talk to someone, not a relative or a friend who will always tell you maisha ni kuvumilia, or you go in, pastor tells you pray, we will pray, we will pray. We have seen people who die and God is still on the throne, because God gave us the mind, and we have to think, and we have to know what is good for us. Sometimes the person giving you advice, they're also going through the same, but they want company. They want people who they can be having that conversation with when they meet. So make sure that you don't behave like the children of Israel, but you make sure that you train your mind to always do new things. Always stretch your mind. Stretch your mind, guys. Do that new thing. Start that business. Start that content creation, where do those things that are scary. Actually, if you have small dreams, then you don't believe in God. You should have big dreams that this one, unless God comes through for me, things will not work out. And that builds your faith and gives you the momentum even to continue trusting in the familiar, in the unfamiliar. So I was just reading about Abraham, and Abraham being told, go and kill your son. He just walked with the son. He didn't know what is going to happen, just walking to the unfamiliar. He was told, leave your family to a land that I will show you. Akaamua tu, yeye atatoka tu kwenye Mungu atampeleka, it's okay. So some of us, we want to see the sign, we want to see the confirmation, we want to see everything is in place so that we can take a step. But most of the time, Elijah will pray for rain. He will send the servant to go and check, and the servant will go and check 7 times until the 7th time that you will see a cloud forming. But the first time, the second, until the 6th time, there's nothing. So it means ukingojea ujue venye mbele iko, you will never take that step. So just make sure that you don't stay in pain. There's this analogy of this, I don't know, it was an experiment, an experiment of these monkeys. So they were put in a cave with a mother, and a mother was having a lot of thorns. So when they go to suck the milk from the bottle was placed in this mother, the thorns will prick them and they will feel so much pain. But at the same time, they were drinking the milk. And then there's this mother who did not have the milk, it did not have the thorns. So after a long time, they realized that these monkeys will go to this mother who has milk and thorns. Because for them, as long as I'm having milk, I'll endure the pain of the thorns. But as long as you don't have anything to give me, I will not come to you. And what was the lesson? People will stay in bad states because they're being given milk, but they don't know that they can still have their own milk. They can still produce the milk. So most of the time we'll stay in a toxic situation because there's something we are benefiting from it. They give us money, maybe a shelter, maybe we don't have a job, they're taking care of the children. So most of the time, as long as there's that milk, you don't care about the thorns. But people are like, where are you going then? There are thorns. But you are like, wachanani na mimi. I saw a meme somewhere that this person was saying, wachanani na mimi msini advice mambo ya mapenzi. Wachanani na mimi mapenzi ni uwe. So make sure that at least you are comfortable. Because if you're not okay mentally, guys, even the kids will suffer. There's a lot of raising cases of depression. And Kitambo used to think this high blood pressure, depression is for the elderly. But nowadays, even a 21-year-old, we just abuse drugs because they're depressed. So what I will say today is a quote, and I read it somewhere. It says, the highest form of love is inevitably totally free choice and not an act of conformity. So it means love should be free choice and not a form of conformity. Like these monkeys, they were conforming to this mother because of the milk, but they were not happy. It was not love. But because they are receiving milk, they decided to stay in this toxic environment. So make sure that you don't attach yourself. I know people talk about detachment, the law of detachment. Yeah, it is a good thing at some point because you cannot stay in a toxic relationship because of this attachment. And the worst thing is most people, they learn you, they know your moves, they know what you don't want to lose. You tell them your fears, your weaknesses, and they use them as weapons against you. So they'll always press the things that you don't want to lose, because as long as you don't want to lose anything, they'll know this one will never want to lose me. So they will manipulate you and use you and take advantage of you, because they know this one is so lazy. Huyu hata hizi enda kutafuta kazi. This one cannot work. This one cannot take care of herself or himself. So I'm going to take advantage of that. As long as I'm providing, at the same time, I will be torturing them mentally so that they will not leave me. So guys, that is the cost of attachment. So you can decide whether you want to pay the cost and continue taking the milk as you experience the thorns, or you can decide to have your own milk. So if you know of someone who's going through gender-based violence, kindly just empower them. Just tell them that there's power within them. The Bible says that the kingdom of God is within us. There's nothing outside us. It's all start from within. We all reflect what is inside. So if you're going through gender-based violence, please take care of yourself, seek therapy, seek for help, because we are tired of burying people who could have lived long life and change lives and make a difference in the society because of gender-based violence. So for now, bye-bye.